Is it just me, or is it getting a little rumbly around here? It's probably just me, because you're out there in the world somewhere, and I'm here, and I'm feeling something that feels sort of like what the name of the movie is. You know what? Forget about that joke. Tremors. One of the more overlooked of the 80s sci-fi movies. I have actually been meaning to review this movie for quite some time. It's just that it happens that I haven't had the time, and now that I do, I'm going to review it for you. So the movie stars several people, one of which is Kevin Bacon in one of his various 80s roles, and who plays a regular, just sort of a handyman in some who knows where, Nevada or Nebraska desert, and at this one small town where it's got like a population 22 people or something like that. And he and his buddy, when they are out just doing stuff, pretty much, they run into what apparently is some sort of gigantic earthworm. Now, calling these things worms is not exactly what I would say. I mean, it's like a giant ground eel. They're about like this long, or a little bit longer than that, and they shoot out of the ground. They, grab onto people or something. But it turns out that later on, they're they're trying to get away from the small one, and turns out there's this gigantic one that opens up out of the ground, and it's just like that. It's crazy. Come to find out, there's not only that one, but there's actually two others. So the entire town is now in jeopardy, and they have to survive with that. And the only way out of the town has been blocked by an avalanche, which was also caused by the worms. So now they are stuck with mountains all around them in a small little town in the backside of the desert with absolutely no communication to the outside world. Because guess what? The telephone lines are down too. Isn't it just so convenient how monsters think of everything? I mean, think about it. It's like monsters must plan this sort of attack ahead of time. They take out the main roads, they take out the power lines. Either that, or it's just absolutely crazily dumb luck that everything works out according to plan, or no plan. But anyway, that's, the regular film cliches aside, they have to survive a bunch of giant worms coming up through these pretty much just boarded floors. But they're in luck because they have some sort of unique people living in this little town. One of which has a gigantic gun collection. Like, they take a giant elephant gun and they shoot one of the things and they actually kill it. So then they have two left, and basically the movie's them not getting eaten by worms, or actually some of them are, and that's kind of cool. So when you first see this movie, you might think, this is going kind of slow. I mean, where's the giant worms and tremors and all that stuff coming from? But you gotta give it time, because a lot of this isn't just the monster. It's not just a creature feature, it's more of a character developing sort of thing too. Because by the end of the movie, these two guys, they aren't just a bunch of jerks anymore, they're actual people that care about people. And, that's part of where the movie comes from. The other thing is that, you know that they're there, but that's kind of the thing. You don't have to see them every time. Because they're underground, you know that they could be anywhere, and that adds to the suspense. And you just kind of, if you saw the giant worm every time that it was around, then that would take away the effect. This way you can just kind of hear it underground and not sure where it's going to pop up next, and when it does, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't think it'd be there, I thought it'd be here. There you go. But, so anyway, I like that a lot, and I think that's a pretty cool premise for a story, especially in the desert. Kind of an odd setting though, odd sort of cast members, but I thought it worked pretty well. The characters were pretty colorful, pretty interesting. And actually, this is one of the cooler 80s sci-fi movies I think there is. But there really isn't a whole lot of sci-fi to it. There isn't a whole lot of science in this fiction. So I guess it'd be more like horror, although it's not really all that gory either. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of a cross between sci-fi, horror, whatever it is. It's a creature feature, and I like it. And there's like 3 or 4 other sequels. I don't know. I haven't seen them, so I can't really say what I think about them. But as for this one, and as for the original story, I think it's a pretty good one. It's definitely worth your watch, and that's about it. Another thing I just remembered I need to mention is that the special effects on this is just cool. I mean, you can definitely tell it's dated and it's from the 1980s, and that it's just, you know, like big animatronic sort of things. And I don't think it was Stan Winston who was involved with this. Could have been, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me on this. But it's still, I like the way they looked, and especially when they had to have a dead giant one, it actually looked like you had killed a giant worm and the stuff was oozing out of it, whatever is inside of a worm. I don't know. But they just, you know, it looked really real and real, I guess what would the word be, just convincing, I guess. I don't know. But it looked real nice, or not nice, but it looked real. And so, yeah, the special effects was probably one of the best parts of this movie. Plus, like I said, the acting, you know, it was really good acting, especially from Kevin Bacon and the other guys. You know, they're just real interesting characters. It makes you want to watch them. And like I said, by the end of the movie, you may not like them at the first, but at the end, they turn out to be okay guys. So, yep, that's pretty much Tremors, and that's pretty much my review of Tremors. I would say I'd give it about 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's you know, it's not great, but it's not bad. It's actually it's okay. It's on the, if you got in the middle, it's a little bit towards really good as far as stars go. I don't know. I would just go see it if you have some free time. And that's pretty much. I may have asked this question before, but I think it's a valid question to re-ask because I've got like over 100 subscribers now, so everybody can jump in now. What is your favorite 80s creature feature? This means it doesn't have to be science fiction or horror. It can be something that's kind of a mix between them, but it features a giant creature, a giant monster of some kind, like this one. Comment on this video and let the world know. And until next time, I'm Creature Hunt Guy, and I'll see you later.